So while we're waiting for people to hop in, I figured I'm going to do something kind of new. You guys can throw me some thumbs up if you think that it's an okay thing to do, but I just wanted to do it just to kind of entertain you guys while, you guys are all hopping in here. So I have a couple of jokes to tell you guys. They're not dirty jokes, I promise. I know you that know me personally know that, oh my gosh, she's going to tell some dirty ones. No, we're on a clean show here. This is, Facebook Live is a family orientated show here, I guess. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Frida. So, a man walks into a library and asks the librarian for books about paranoia. She whispers, "They're right behind you." I told you they're going to be hokey. I got a new stand. Do you guys see this? I know it's kind of low right now. I have to figure out how to get my adjustments right. There we go. I don't want to make you guys sick by touching it too much, so we're just kind of let it. As time goes on, when you get anything new, it kind of, you have to fiddle with things. Shoot, I forgot to turn off my notifications. So hopefully nobody tries to text or call. Ugh, darn it. I hate when I forget that. Okay, here's another one for you guys. Want to hear a roof joke? The first one's on the house. I don't know. Just had to do it. Okay, one more joke for you guys. What should you do if you're attacked by a group of clowns? You guys know? Go straight for the juggler. Who comes up with these things, I tell you? And I'm horrible at telling jokes, as you guys can tell. I am not a good joke teller, never have been, never will be. But I just thought, hey, it's something good to kill some time going on in here. Hello, Patty. Yes, I am a huge dork. It's okay. I own it, and that's just the way it is. So, with that being said, let's get you guys... It was just something I had to do. I had to do something to kill some time while I was getting you guys brought up. Hello, Mother. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, brought up here. Sorry, I made myself even. Oh, shoot. I need to tighten that up a little bit because it seems like it's kind of dropping. Hold on. There you go. There we go. That's better. All right. So I'm going to move my computer. I'm done with my jokes for the day. Because I know you guys were loving that, right? Well, hey, the way I see it is, let me turn this off, is if I could do anything to just kill some time without you guys having to just sit there and just wait. Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. I won't be funny. I won't laugh. I can't make a promise like that, though. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just, as Frida said, I'm kind of a dork. Well, it is what it is. So, welcome to my Facebook Live number 49. I'm Danny Garola here at Stampin' the Pink Barn. If you're watching and you see that little red live, not sure what corner it is on for you guys, but if you see that little red live button up there, that means you caught me right now in real time. And today is Monday, July 26th, 6 p.m. here Mountain Standard Time along with Pacific Time. That means it's 7 Mountain Time, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern. Now, that's because you guys are on daylight savings time. Here in Tucson, we don't have daylight savings time, so times will change. So that's why I like to give that to you guys, because I don't... Did he come lurking in the background? I didn't even see him. You know what I told him he had to do? There he is! I told him he had to come in and say hi to everybody. Because a lot of you guys haven't seen him in forever.
Or ever.
Or ever.
Hello.
Yep. Yep, there he is. I told him he had to make an appearance for you guys. So that's why he was lurking in the background.
Oh, was I? Could you see me?
I guess Frida could see you. She said that she saw you lurking around in the background.
Well, because you had just started talking, so I was waiting till you would finish.
Jamie said hi.
All right.
At least he's not in his underwear. That is so true. I know, I always tell him, he'll come home and he'll like, my mom will be here and he'll go and take his work clothes off because his work clothes will be wet from cleaning like the meat room and stuff. And he comes in and he drops his pants and he's wearing his boxers.
You ever seen the Goldbergs? They stole that from me.
Yes, that's exactly him.
I am the Goldbergs' dad.
Kyle was talking about him. Kylie was talking. Walmart. We still make that joke. Walmart. We say that all the time. That's so funny.
Well, tell everyone I said hello.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Come in, say hi. Let me know that you guys are here. I know quite a few of you have already said hi. Some exciting news that happened last week. I think it was Wednesday. I know you guys that have followed me have video bomber. Yeah, right? What was I saying? Oh, so last week, great news. We took my daughter to her orthopedic doctor, and I know you guys that follow me were sticking around, and you guys saw when my daughter went to the hospital and had her EEG done, and that it was great news that the little moments that she's having are not seizures. Well, we also got, oh, great. That's such good news, Anna. I'm glad you got it. We went to the orthopedic surgeon, her surgeon that she sees. Luckily, she hasn't had to have surgery on anything, but we've been watching her scoliosis very closely because right now with her age, she's kind of in the beginning of puberty, and right now is like her major growth spurt. Sorry, I'm sweating. It's warm. Made me laugh, made me have a hot flash. We've been watching her scoliosis, and now she doesn't have normal scoliosis. She's got neurological scoliosis, which I guess it's caused due to her neurological disorder that she has. Didn't know there was a difference, but now I do. So we go and see him every 6 months, and so the last time we saw him, her curvature was at like a 36, I want to say. I don't remember exactly the number, but I know it was in the 30s. And he had said that, you know, that in the near future, we're going to probably look at having to do a spinal fusion, because the way most of our kiddos that have Rett syndrome, their scoliosis doesn't go, like if you're standing sideways, it doesn't go like this, like hunchback, like it's not like that. Theirs curves like this way. So her back is kind of spine like this, and it can really start affecting organs and stuff in their body because things start becoming crushed the more and more that they start kind of curving with their back. Hers has dropped 10%. So that means it's gotten 10% better than 6 months ago. And he said, he goes, I just have to say she's kind of a mystery. He said, we do see some fluctuation, but hers was kind of a drastic fluctuation. He goes, whatever you guys are doing, keep up the good work. He said, he goes, keep her moving. He goes, if she walks during the day, make her walk even more. So yeah, awesome, awesome news. And I was just like, hallelujah. I mean, it was just one of those things that normally it's always bad news when we go in there, and that it's always regressed a little bit more. But this time it didn't. It actually got better. And so he had asked me, he goes, is she wearing a brace? And I said, yeah, last time when we were here, we ordered her a back brace. I think it's laying, yep, it's laying kind of up right there. If you can see it, it's got all, it's black with those little things on there. So it's kind of a turtle, not a turtle shell. It goes all the way around, and then it's got 3 clasps that go down the center, and then it Velcros tight. And he was telling me, he goes, kids do their growing, for the most part at night. So he said, don't make her wear it during the day, because the fact that it's so kind of a long thing, it goes past her hips and down her thighs, that it is kind of not kind of, it really is a tripping hazard for her, that when she tries to walk, the tops of her legs hit it and she winds up falling with it. So he said, he goes, in her case, just let her wear it at night. He goes, that's when she's doing most of her growing. So it's actually, I don't know, I'm going to chalk it up to that thing's been working well. So she wears it pretty much every night. During the summer, we do put a fan on her because being in that shell thing, it does have holes in it and stuff for air. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that news with you guys because it was pretty exciting. Alrighty, so let's see. Please help me grow my business by clicking that share button and share this video. Even if you're watching it later on YouTube, you can still share. Please hit that subscribe button from YouTube and that little bell for the notification so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. That way it'll tell you every time I've posted something new. All right. I don't think we have very many announcements. I know you guys saw that card that I posted yesterday, or no, my mom posted it. Yeah, she's moving up in the world. I told her how to edit and to post pictures of her cards that she's been making, because she's been making some gorgeous cards. I have the card that she made sitting here in front of me. So what did I do with... I'm going to flip the camera around. Now, like I said, I just got this new stand. My mom and my husband bought it for me for my birthday. I know it's way early, but they knew it was well needed. So when I get you guys flipped around, I'm going to show you those cards. So close your eyes so I do not make you sick, because I know motion sickness is real and you're going to have to work with me as I'm learning this new stand. Sorry, that was kind of a boob shot there. All right, hold on. Let me get you guys flipped around. Oh, see, there's my notes. See how this stand is pretty cool. It's got a iPad stand on there. So then when I get you guys flipped around and I pull you guys up on Facebook, I will be able to see all your guys' comments. Ooh, that's a little wonky. There we go. I think that works. Can we see the end of the table? Okay, you guys don't need to see my stomach because that's not cute. I can't take good photos of my cards. Hey, I will get in touch with you, Patty, and I will tell you how. I just actually went through this with my mom yesterday when she was posting the pictures of her cards. Let me get this other light turned on. I was telling her exactly how to get in there and take pictures of your cards and how to get them to look good on when you're taking pictures of them. I'll give you some hints. So when we're done with this, I will message you, and oops, it helps if I turn my volume down. Ah! Dropping things. Hold on. Life is good. We're okay. We're good. We're good. Promise. All right, let's get... Let me get switched around here. All right, so here is that card that she made. Now this is using this is new paper coming up in the I'm trying to get this up and going here. All right, there we go. All right, this is new paper that is in the new mini catalog that is starting August 3rd. It is called the Whimsy and Wonder. And I know that light's going to glare on there, but it has this beautiful foiling on the flip side. As you can see that she's used this one right over here. And then this is the polished pink she's used for the background. And this is one of those cards that I showed you guys how to make, which was the Tower card. Isn't that so cool? And then she used a set that's in that new catalog, which is called Whimsy something. I'm not quite certain right offhand. I have to condition myself with that new mini catalog to learn all the names of everything. So yeah, isn't that really cool? And it just sits just like that. I love the colors of this. I told her, I go, you know, that's going to be my birthday card, right? And she goes, you know, it's Christmas card, right? I go, well, that's okay. My birthday's close enough to Christmas. We'll call it good. So, and then here's that card that I posted yesterday. I will be going live Tuesday, the 27th, which is tomorrow. And I'm going to show you guys how to put, okay, minus the hair on there. I'm going to show you guys how to put this card together because it sits flat like that. And then it also sits flat like that to fit in a 5x7 envelope. Words are hard, sorry. And then when the recipient gets it, they just get to flip it just like that. And this DSP here is in our celebrations that's coming up. It will be earned with a $50 purchase. What is going on here? Of course, my... There we go. So just know that that matches this deer set that is coming up. That deer set is called Peaceful Deers, and this DSP is called Peaceful Prince. So, all right, I will show you that. Also, over on my Uplines demo page, if you join my team, our team does some amazing things. You get in on a lot of things that are kind of behind the scenes that you don't see. So over on my team leaders page, every month I do a Make It Monday challenge. And the way you get on this challenge is you become part of my team. And every month I set up this thing where this month we're doing black and white cards. So these are the two cards that I posted, and now all of my team members and her team members will go on there and make cards that are in black and white. And then you have a option of winning, or the opportunity of winning a stamp set, and normally either a ribbon or embellishments, just depending on what we have going on. All right, the other thing, what else was I going to go over with you guys? Did I lose you guys, or are we still going? It's telling me that we're interrupted. We have a winner of last week's number 48, our Facebook Live. It was somebody new that commented or liked my video. This is for Diana Oliver Sanders. You get to pick one of the cards that I made last week, and I will need you to pick which one you like, and I will send it to you, but I need you to send me your address. So simple. Pick a card, one of these three that we made from last week, and I will get it in the mail to you. That was Diana Oliver Sanders. Okay, couple things. If you guys aren't subscribers of the Paper Pumpkin, Thursday the 29th, we will be putting last month's The Adventure and Beginnings. I will be doing a Facebook Live on that. To do maybe one or two alternatives for that. And I will probably put the actual cards together because they're really neat cards they did this last month. They did kind of a shutter card where the card base and then one folds, a diorama, I think it's kind of what it's called. But this one is designed by Shelly, which is our co-founder of Stampin' Up! So this one is coming up. You have until August 10th to subscribe for this one. And the way that, it's fun to see everyone's creativity too. Absolutely it is. Yes, Anna. It is neat to see what people come up with. That's what I love about it, is when I post those things and people come up with great ideas, then it's almost like a card swap if you belong to a card swap, which I have to get mine in the mail. That just reminded me. you get to see other people's cards and you can recreate whatever they make. I mean, it is what it is. So this is the upcoming kit. This one also has the box, because normally your kit will come like this. It comes red, just like this, which you can still do whatever you want with the box when you're done with it. But this time the box is coming as a keepsake that you can use as a memory box, you know, once you're done with it. Also, our sale is still going on. This goes on until August 2nd. Two of the papers that I'm going to be using tonight, I'm going to be using the You're a Peach Designer Series paper and the Bloom Where You're Planted Designer Series paper are on this sale. So you're going to want to go on there. As soon as you go into my store, this will be the first thing that pops up on your image. The cool thing that I'm going to tell you, probably not the cool thing, I don't know why I said just that word, it just flew out of my mouth for no reason. The thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to buy two, because one pack, you're going to feel like you don't want to use it because of the fact that it's so beautiful. Our paper is absolutely gorgeous, and I am totally guilty of it, that I always have to make sure when I buy it, I have to buy two so I don't feel chintzy with my paper. So that's just kind of a word for the wise. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first card, we're going to be using the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. Now, the way this paper is earned is you have to have a party that is over $150 and you're the host or hostess. It is one of our hostess gifts. So if you look in the back of your annual catalog, where's it at? It is on page 171. So right here, the way you get this is by, like I said, doing the host, or if you spend $150 in product, you can use this as part of your Stampin' Rewards because you've just qualified for a host gift at that. There's also a couple stamp sets on there as well. But this, you get 48 sheets. It is a huge Designer Series paper pack. You get 4 each of the 12 double-sided papers here, okay, as you can see. So it is a big thing, and you only pay $18 for it. It's a $30 value. So just wanted to let you know that. All right, so the first set that we're going to be using is on page 117. This is called All Squared Away. It is this one right here. I just want to kind of show you the page so you know where I'm looking and you know what we're using. I am going to use the dies and one of the sentiments in the stamp set. Okay, so that is the first one we're going to be doing. All right, let me get my little box out here. All right, there's the dies, and let me get the stamp set because it's towards the bottom here, because I've already kind of pre-cut my... So this is one of the cards that I made. The one that we're making tonight is going to be different colors, but isn't this so cool? And this is that pattern paper. So this side is that bumblebee, and when you flip it over, then you get the black and white check. So one side is going to have a colorful pattern. The opposite side is going to be nothing but a black and white abstract. So the card base, let me get this out of my way here. So yeah, the dies are really neat. If you do a stamped image of this and then you can lay these over the top, those are really neat as well. Let me move that out of the way so I have my cheat sheet. We are going to come in with a thick white card stock, the basic white. I'm going to score this because it is the thick. I could, if this was just regular cardstock, I could just fold it in half and call it good, but since it is the thick, I want to make sure I do a score line with it so I don't crinkle any of those edges. Okay, let me grab my bone folder. Yes, my bone folder has seen better days. Do you see this? It is very well loved and very well used. Then I'm going to take a piece of Gorgeous Grape. The card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, just so you know. This piece here is 5 1/4 by 4. And you're also going to need, where did it go? No, I lied. Okay, so we are going to take our designer series paper. I'm using this one, which is that party pattern. So as you can see, this side has the colorful pattern on it, and then the flip side is black and white. So what you're going to do with this paper, you're going to need your trimmer. Now this is, the size of that piece is 5 by 3 3/4. So let me grab my trimmer. Okay, so the way you're going to take this is you're going to line, can you guys see that okay? Maybe move over here a little bit. You're going to take this top corner. Oh, do you hear that I have a new chair? My mom brought me her chair because she's going to buy a new one. You don't have to hear that squeaking and creaking of my other chair that I had. I know it's not pink, but it's made by Serta, so it's super comfy. All right, so I'm just going to cut this diagonal. Okay, now this is probably the most trickiest part, is you need to make sure you hold that together and make sure your ends are aligned. And then you're going to line this up in your trimmer with this corner and that corner now being, so like I said, this is the most trickiest part of cutting this. So once I kind of have it in the track, then I kind of move my paper and then kind of just move it around just a little bit. Okay, just like that. And then now I'm going to cut that. So now I have 4 triangle pieces there. Now this one I'm going to do on the landscape side, as versus this one I did portrait style. Okay, then we're going to need a piece of, well, let's get this part done first. I'm getting ahead of myself. My video keeps telling me that I am interrupted, so I'm hoping that we're still rolling. So what you're going to do is either take your sides, you decide how you want this, and then flip your ends on the black and white. Or you can take these two and go this way and then put these like this. That's what I did here. So it would be pretty much us looking at this card kind of like this. But I think actually I'm going to do it different. I'm going to do it like this since we're making this card landscape style. So what you want to do when you align these down is you want to keep kind of 1/8 of an inch of your border of seeing the Gorgeous Grape around the edge of this. And that's also kind of one of the tricky parts too, because you really want to make sure everything's kind of lined up so things don't get wonky. So what I do is I just start gluing and then hope that I don't get anything looking wonky, because it happens. And that's one thing I like about my Tumbo glue, because I still have a little bit of time to move things around before it gets completely stuck down. Yes, Jamie, you are on my prayer list, just to let you know. You were in some prayers this morning about your quick recovery. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that, because honestly, I have to tell you, and I'm not like trying to be a turd or anything, but mine was actually kind of easy when I had it done. They just did it liposcopically, so they only had to go, they went through my belly button. There was one hole in my belly button, and then they went through like 2 spots on the side. Okay, there we go. And that's, they went in and they removed it that way. Oh, sorry, I had to take a drink. All right, so now we're going to come in. So that part of the card is pretty much done. Now we have this beautiful, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. This is our ombre. It is called Ombre Specialty Paper. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be using the purple piece, but each one of these, you can kind of see in the red here. So it has Real Red, or no, this is Poppy Parade. You have Bumblebee, I think it is. And then Night of Navy is this one here, that it fades into that lighter blue. And then the purple, this is called Gorgeous Grape, which is the same color of the base that we're using here. And that one that the card that is completed that I showed you, that I made earlier, I did with the yellow. So I grabbed a piece of my Gorgeous Grape, and so this would be the top part, and as you can see, it fades down to the lighter. So when I cut out this piece here, I grabbed my flowers, and I took my big flower and I put it on the lighter part, and then I just had this little piece here, and I did my 3 flowers. So these stay together as a die, but each flower will be individually cut out. I put that, and I put that on the dark. So as the magic of television here, I've already cut these out, so we don't have to wait for me to run these through the machine. So there's our, if I can get these things out of here. There's our flowers, just like that. And then I took this one right here. As you can see, these flowers fit in those spots. And I did this with a piece of basic white. I cut it out of that, so I just laid that on there. Now this basic white piece is 2 by 2. And then when you cut that out, it just gives you this piece just like that. Then I needed a piece of white, or white. Yeah, if I can tell, I swear I'm not colorblind. And I cut this at 2 by, we're gonna need a 2. Actually, no, I think this is, yeah, 2 by 2. So just a scrap of that and cut your 2 by 2 square. Oh, of course, everything's falling down over there. And then this just fits just like that on a 2 by 2 piece of cardstock that you put in the back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and glue this to the black first. So you can cut this down maybe 1/8 of an inch if you don't want to have the black border sticking off the outsides. Oh, come on. I got a glue gooby. Plug in my glue. Oh, they did try that first? Ugh, this thing is telling me that my video is interrupted. Of course, because I'm telling you, what is going on here? I just used this. All right, well, see, that's why I have my pin sticking over here. When this thing gets itself in a bind, I have a quick fix for that. And then see, it doesn't touch me and I don't get poked. But, see, voila, now we have glue that works. And then I'm just gonna lightly add this to a little bit on the edges here. Oh, Patty, did you have a good time with your kids since they were here? I meant to ask you that. I was going to message you, but then I didn't want to bug you. I didn't know how long they were going to be here. It's kind of neat that you got to see the grandkids and your kids. It isn't interrupted on my end. Huh, it must just be my internet, which, imagine that. Yeah, it's just spinning. It's not even letting me bring myself up. Well, oh well. All right, then I'm gonna take this big flower here. And I'm gonna stick it on here. Isn't that so pretty with that glitter? All right, let me see if I can find myself again, because this is being really kind of wonky and screwy. And there we go. All right, let's see. All right, then I'm gonna put this little flower on top of that one. Hello, Melanie. I thought I saw Anna, the other Anna, pop in here too. I don't know if she's still here. Anna Marie Bell, are you still in here? Hello, I forgot to say hi to you, but I saw you pop in. All right, so this is going to go right there on the front of that, but I'm going to use my black dimensionals because I don't use them that often. Right here. They're my black mini ones, or the pack comes with both. So it is a dual-sized package. You get the big and you get the little in the same package. I think you get 2 of the big and 2 of the small. Melanie, did you go on vacation yet? I know you were going to be taking off. Just wanted to see how your guys' travels were. And if you got to miss all the crazy rain that we've been having around here. I don't know if you guys have been having it over there where you live, but it has been crazy rain around here. We had some pretty crazy flooding in areas, and some sad situations happened in that flooding. It just breaks my heart for those families. But all right, so I'm gonna take a couple of these. Actually, I'm gonna use the small ones. Now, I'm going to show you kind of what the significance is of having black dimensionals, because I know you're probably saying, what are black dimensionals for? Okay, as you can see, this is black cardstock. So watch, this is how you'll know that you've already taken the things off of this. They kind of just disappear into okay, see that? So now when you flip this around and put it on the front of your card, and then you look down in between there, you don't really see the dimensionals like you would with white ones, because they're black along with your black cardstock. All right, then I have just a small piece. This is, I believe it is a 1/2 inch by whatever length. I mean, you can cut it down once you decide where you're going to put it. Now I'm just going to put it along the bottom here, but I'm going to use that. I'm kind of on this craft ink kick right now. I think I used it last week on one of those cards. Yeah, I did. I think I used it on the sunflower card. All right, I think I'm going to put, so these have got some innies and outies. Happiest of birthdays to you. You are so worth celebrating, like our friendship. Good things grow. So you are so worth celebrating is I think what I'm going to put on that one. Let's make sure it's not going to be too crazy big. Now how I kind of measure that is I go like that and I just go, you know, that'll work. Or maybe I'm just going to stick with the good things grow, and then on the inside I would put like our friendship. That's what I'm going to do once I get the block out here. You're in Florida now. Holy jeez. Yeah, I'm sure it probably is insanely humid there. Yes, heard at home 2 inches in an hour. Oh, it has been quite crazy. How about you, Patty, up there? Have you been dealing with some crazy rains up in your area? Okay, so look how beautiful that is. Now I've got to give that a couple of seconds to dry, so I'm just going to set that out of the way because otherwise you know how I am and I will stick my fingers in there and it'll become a hot mess. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and stick these little flowers on here. So I'm going to kind of just lay them on here. I love how these flowers look on that paper. And I know when you guys see the purple and green, you're probably going, oh wow, she's a Joker fan. Well, I'm really not. I just love purple and green together, especially this granny apple green. That granny apple green is just, and I'm not a big fan of green, but it pops when you put it on a card because it's such a bright, cheery green. Okay, so then I was going to use some of my rhinestones, but I think I already have a package that's open, so let me grab those really quick because I think those ones were meant to be a gift of some sorts. All right, so let me get that out of the way. And then, so what I'm going to do with these little rhinestones is I'm going to put these in the centers of these flowers. Because I just love the look of that. And then it adds some bling on top of the already bling from your glitter here. And then on the inside, oh, I was going to cut a strip of that green. Hold on a second. Let me get out that. Yeah, see, look how thick this pack is. I mean, it's ginormica. It's really heavy. All right, so let's cut a strip of that. I thought I had a strip. I must not have because, imagine that. So I'm just going to cut a 3/4 inch of that granny apple green, and I'm going to put that in the inside of my card. Now, if you guys would like more information on the cards that I'm making, visit my blog. It'll be up and running tomorrow. I'll have to take all the pictures and edit this video and that kind of stuff. And get it all up on my blog, stampinthepinkbarn.blogspot.com, right here. And you will see all the wonderful recipes on how to make this and the ingredients list. And you can catch this video again if you want to slow things down and, you know, see how I do certain things. It's always cool to be able to slow a video down, rewind it as much as you want. And then over on the blog, if you can sign up on the little sidebar, it says sign up for my newsletter. Every month I send out a newsletter in the beginning of the month, and it's going to come Stampin' the Pink Barn. And normally I tell you any monthly, how were your in-person class? It was my newsletter is going to tell you if there's any upcoming current promotions going on in the month. And also, I send one out in the middle of the month just to make sure it's kind of a reminder if I have any oncoming or upcoming in-person classes or any promotions that are coming up that you need to know about at the end of the month. Or if something's getting ready to, oops, see, I should not have put that flower there. Good thing I can move it. If there's any closings coming to a promotion that I don't really want you to miss out on, I will make sure I let you know that in the middle of the month. But I don't try to bombard you guys with emails because I know I'm not a big fan of emails, and so that's what that's about. Okay, I'm going to just cut the side of that just to give it kind of a little bit of diagonal, just to add a little bit of something to that. And then grab 2 or 3 more of these depending on the length. I'm going to put 3 just for good measures to make sure it stays, and then we don't have any sagging in the middle of our Ugh. Wow, that one just does not want to come off. There we go. Okay, just like that. Okay, hold on, you guys. I have to put my hair up. I'm really getting warm. Oh. Yeah, Melanie, somebody posted a picture today of a vehicle floating down a wash. And it was like a small SUV. And the thing was rolling going down this wash because the rains were so crazy somewhere. Luckily, the people made it out and they were okay. But they lost their vehicle. And, you know, vehicles aren't cheap. But thank God they got out okay. But it blows my mind. Oh, and remember how last week I couldn't remember the saying that we have here in Arizona? It's called, turn around, don't drown. That's what they tell you. So if you ever come up to a road, heavy rains but no flooding up there, huh, Patty? That's crazy. Yeah, because we've had a lot of flooding, not particularly right here in the area that I'm at, but in town and stuff, they've had some crazy flooding. So that's good that you guys aren't dealing with that. I have papers falling everywhere. Jeez Louise. All right, so what was I going to do? I was going to do the inside of this card. So I'm going to grab my Memento Black. And what did I say I was going to put in the inside of this? If you guys do not have a chamois, I'm telling you, this thing is the next best thing to chocolate cake. This thing, it almost kind of puts my Stampin' Scrub to shame. These are so easy. I advise everyone to have one in their crafting stash. So what did we say? What did I put on the front? Like our friendship? Oh, good things grow like our friendship. That's what I was going to do. That's why I knew that was in my mind. All my other blocks are stuck, so that's why I'm switching out this one block. I just ordered new blocks. My order should be here tomorrow. I'm going to put this down here. I ordered a bunch of new blocks because I don't have enough blocks per what I need to be working with. So this way, I will already have them pre-mounted, so when I go to start making videos, I won't have to keep cleaning them and doing them and moving them around. So, all right, let's move that set because we are going to move on to our next card. Holy jeez. If I don't have like an avalanche of things fall over. All right, so there is that one. And then the yellow one that I made a couple days ago. I just wanted to show you the different orientation of this and how it can look so different, but they're so easy to create, and that glitter paper just makes all the difference in the world. And yes, I forgot to put my rhinestones on this one, but I wanted to show you what it looked like here. And then here are the two different flower designs that you can do with that. All right, so there's that one. Okay, let's move on. So this next stamp set, oops, I forgot to put that away. Hold on 2 seconds, take a drink. Oh, goodness. Wow, it is like a hurricane of paper over here. It all just came crashing down. Go figure. Okay, I think we're good. Plentiful Plants is on page 81. Right here. This is actually a whole suite as well. But right now, I'm going to let you know, since this paper is on sale, I tried to do it earlier. Now, whether or not it will change at the end of your order, if you go to order this suite price, it didn't take off the sale price for the paper. So you might, instead of ordering it as a full suite, because it's not saving you any money to buy it as a suite anyways, it's just one number is giving you all the product in one, so you're not having to individually put things into your order form. Okay, just to let you know that. So your paper is on sale, so I would say not to do the suite right now. Like I said, I don't know if at the end of it, if it automatically takes the price difference off. I tried it and I didn't submit the order because I didn't need any more of that, but just want you to be aware that paper should be on sale for $9.78, not the $11.50. So make sure you watch that when you go to add that into your cart. All right. So right now, succulents are like all the hot rage, but I'm going to show you guys something super fun that I haven't showed you guys yet. And I want to show you guys this technique. It is called a corner fold. So the card that I'm making today is going to be a little bit different than this one, but this is kind of the gist of what we're going to be making. Now look at that. Isn't that so cool? So you're carrying your succulents over into the middle of your card as well, and on the inside flap, which normally we don't do anything on the inside flap. But let's get into this card and show you guys how to make it. They also call this, instead of a corner flap card, ooh, I almost said a bad word. They also call it a Post-it note corner card because there's kind of a trick on how to do this. Okay, so you're gonna need your paper trimmer. And so let's go ahead and you can either fold it in half or go ahead and score it, which I'm gonna do just so I can see my score line for when we're going to cut this. Okay, so it was the beginning of the week when I made this, so bear with me if I get a little fiddly here. So, the way I do it is I take my Post-it and I put it like this. So it lines up in that top corner. And then I've already pre-marked my edges here that I know that that's where I'm going to go in at and stop. So you're going to want to line this up because we know that this is a 3x3 Post-it. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And here is that paper just to show you how neat and green, and then it's got some brick walls kind of to go behind it, but then it has your succulent and your potted plants that can actually, these potted plants can actually be cut out with the dies from this set. So I'll show you that when we're done here. All right, so where did I say? That's our 3. So what do I need to do here? Okay, I need to move this over. And I'm gonna line this up with the 3. So where's my trimmer here? I'm gonna stand up here so I can see. And I'm gonna put that at the 3. And that's gonna be the corner of our, what is this, Post-it note. Then I'm gonna run it up to the half mark of my, whatever that's called there, or 3/4, I mean. I'm gonna line it up with the 3/4 mark right there. So I've come 3/4 of an inch down and gone up and then stopped where I know that my 3/4 is. Does that make sense? Like I said, you're gonna wanna rewatch this and be able to see that's where I put it on the 3, is over here. I knew it went lined up with the 3. Then I'm gonna bring this back down and I'm gonna line this up with my 3. And then I'm gonna go back up to that 3/4. So I'm gonna pass my 1 and go right up to where I know I'm 3/4 of an inch down. And on the side of your cutting blade, there is a little divot right here, so you can make sure to know when to stop. Okay, so there we go. So that way, when you take your, oops, and see, and I had it a little off, but that's okay. Then when you take that thing off, and when you go to fold this, this is what you're gonna wanna do. This is where kind of your bone folder comes in kind of handy. Because when you go to fold this, like that. You want to kind of lay this on the inside. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going the wrong way. I fibbed. Nope. You're going to want to go this way. So I just take this piece here, flip it out, and then kind of line your bone folder up. But your biggest concern that you want to watch is to make sure this is even with your corner out here. That makes sense. So just kind of push that there and then pull this out and then lay it down. I know it sounds harder than what it really is. Hopefully you're just following what I'm doing and not what I'm saying, because sometimes me talking makes it more complicated than what it really is. Okay, so there's that. Oh, and you know what I did? I already messed up, which, story of my life, but that's okay, because that is something that we all wind up doing. And I didn't even cut the, or wait a minute. This paper is not, okay, this should be cut at 5 1/4 or 5 1/2, and see, it's too big. So that worked out actually kind of good to show you that. There we go. Now this piece should fit right on there. Perfect. So what you normally would do, and not be like me, but hey, you know what? We all make mistakes, and that's life, right? Is you would put this on your piece of paper first and then cut. But since I didn't, I guess I can go ahead and glue that on there and then try to cut that again. Because life is real and it throws us curveballs. And so I'm going to put glue in the center of this. Normally you just do around the edges, but since you want to have your piece in the center stuck down to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get the glue off my ring so I don't stick my ring to my finger, is I'm going to lay this back down and come down to my 3 mark where I was, and then make sure this is lined up on the 3. Oh, wait a minute. That would have been very bad. No, this needs to be lined up on the 3. Okay, so if it's that way, it needs to be lined up on 3, and then this needs to be lined up on the 3. And then we're going to go up to the 3/4 mark. Okay, just like that. Oh, you know what? We're going to start over because that is not working out the way I need it to. So, this is real life, right? Some things don't always work out the way we want them to. So let's try this over again, all right? So we need soft succulent. We're going to cut our piece in half, which is going to put that at 5 1/2. Okay, now that's the right size. Let's score this at 4 1/4. Okay, let me grab my soft succulent out, or my bloom where you're planted paper. And I think this is already cut at what I need. Let's see. That's 4, perfect. And then all I need to do is cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so now I'm really having a hot flash because, you know, when things get real. All right, let's glue this on here first. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Isn't that the old saying? But we all make mistakes, right? But as long as we just roll with it and fix it, then that's all that matters. So what did I say? This needs to go on here like this. But this needs to line up on the 3. No, it doesn't, because that's not going to be right. Let's put this back up here. Because it worked out the first time. Oops, it helps if I get this thing straight. All right, now let's do this again. We're lining that up on the 3 mark because that's how big our post-it is. Okay, actually, I'm going to come down to my 3/4 of a mark and I'm going to start. I'm going to show it to you a little bit differently this time, just so you can see both ways. Then I'm going to run that down to the edge of my number 3. Okay, so instead of going up to the 3/4 mark, which you can absolutely do, I just started at the 3/4 and came down to the 3. Okay, now I'm going to flip this around and put it back at 3 this way. Okay, now this is all making more sense to me. So now I'm going to start it on my, nope, I'm going to start it down here. So if this is at 6.5, I need to go to, that would be 4 3/4 is where I need to start that, because that would be 3/4 of an inch up. And then I'm going to run it down to my 2.5 mark, because that's where my post-it ends. Okay, just like that. There we go. Now that's better. I know my post-it is not on there perfect and it got a little cut up, but that's okay. As long as your lines are right, then we're all good. But the post-it is to just show you kind of where your markings are. So look, now that comes up. Well, I didn't cut that, I guess, all the way through. Is it just going to be one of those kind of... Okay, 3/4 down to the 3. I didn't push hard enough. There we go. Now our cut is made. Okay, now fold your card. Are you guys still with me? Or did you be like, oh my gosh, this girl doesn't know what she is doing? Ah. Well, my paper. Then you're going to take this, as you're folding that forward, now take this and lay it up against there like I was saying, so your paper kind of just gets pushed up in there. Okay, and then fold your edges down where they're crisp. So now this is even and this is even, and then so are your sides here. Now we're going to decorate that and make it pretty, so... All right. Thank goodness I made another one of these, right? Because this one turned out to be kind of a hot mess, but that's okay. I always make more of them just in case something like this happens. All right, so now we need 2 of our different colored paper, which I went ahead and did cinnamon cider to match this DSP. These are at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. That is going to go right here. So let's go ahead and attach that one. And you know why I'm screwing up, right? Is because all my other videos, I've been doing so well. I've been on such a good streak. We'll just chalk it up to that, okay? And then my 2 white pieces that I'm going to need are 2.5 by 2.5, and then that's going to fit right there. Then you're going to need a scrap piece of cinnamon cider, a scrap piece of garden green, and a scrap piece of your same card base, soft succulent. Okay, then you're going to need a piece of scrap basic white. These 2, hang on to, do not cut anything out of those, because those are going to sit on the inside of your card right here. But let's go ahead and add just a little bit of glue down the edge of this, because we know that this part is going to get attached to the itself just like that, because we don't want that flipping up. We want that to stay down. So we'll just run some glue down the inside of that and make it stay. Okay, I promise it's going to turn out when it's done. Then you're going to need a piece of basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to go on the inside, okay? And the only reason why I'm showing you that right now is so I get all my measurements out of the way. Then, what did I say right there? I don't know why I said my DSP. I don't know. Anyways, then you're going to take your pieces and you're going to start, and here's that stamp set along with the dies. Look at this. It's like a hanging macrame, because macrame is like all the in thing right now. And then if you do the suite, but like I said, don't do that with the paper right now. Do the papers, like do the suite separately. You can do this macrame 3D embossing folder, and it is the coolest. It has such a deep imprint on it that it really looks like macrame rope, or whatever macrame is made out of. Hemp, maybe? All right, this little piece we're going to stamp on, so let's keep that out. Now, with a couple of our dies, we're going to do some of our die cutting, but let's stamp first. So we're going to need our cinnamon cider, and we're going to stamp that big pot. Oops, these things are falling off here. Take your big, so you have all these different little pots right here. I'm going to take this big one right here, and I'm going to stamp it tone on tone. So I'm going to do it in cinnamon cider, just like that. And see how it kind of has different kinds of darker and lighter spots? They did that on purpose to make it look like it is more realistic. Okay, where is, oh, I threw my chamois up over here. Okay, so we need one of those pots, and then we need one of the little round pots, which is this one right here. So we're going to put those side by side, and then we're going to take this die here and this die here, close this up because we're done with our cinnamon for now, and then one of these little tiny pots here, and we're going to stick that up there, and we're going to run that all through our embossing folder. And from the magic of TV, look what we have here. They've already been die cut for us. Hee hee hee. Just because I took so long trying to get that darn thing to cut, or to fold there. Okay, so then we have all of those pieces, right? Then let's come in with our garden green, and we're going to take this big greenery piece right here, and we're going to stamp that in garden green on garden green. Where did my little scrap piece of white? We're going to need that too. So I'm going to take that on garden green. Okay, then we're going to take this die that cuts that out, and we're going to cut that, and then we're going to just take, we're going to take this little greenery piece and lay it, once we get this aligned, lay that there and cut that out of that scrap. Okay, and then we're going to come out with this and one of these. Okay, then we're going to take our soft succulent little small piece, and we're going to take this little piece just like we did for the greenery there, and we're going to run that through, and we're going to get this. Oh yeah, it did cool down a lot. Actually, we had a couple of days that were, I want to say, like low 80s, even high 70s. Yesterday, it was one of those days where the whole morning, afternoon, it was just not like a hard monsoon downpour, but it was one of those things where it just like rained all day long. I think you really did that on purpose, just to let us know that I'm not the only one that messes up. That's it, Patty. That's exactly it. I did it just to let you know that we're all human and we all make mistakes. Absolutely. But see, that's the thing is, you know, even here on camera, things aren't always going to be perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. And as much as I sit here and do this, I screw up too. And you guys just got to see that in real life. And that's good, you know? So you don't think that gee, why am I the only one messing up here? Because that's not the way it is. We all make mistakes. You know, no matter how long you've been doing it, it happens, and that's real. And I think we all kind of need to see that, just to let you know that, you know, we all have flaws and it happens, and that's just life, and you just move on. All right, then I'm going to take this little greenery. It looks almost like an aloe vera, and I am going to stamp that, oops, as I just put my garden green, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to stamp that just on a little scrap of white. But yeah, yesterday and all day Saturday, it was just a very dreary, rainy, but it's like, that's my favorite. I love that kind of a day because it wasn't cold. I actually went out and milked one of our goats in the rain, and I went out and I trimmed her hooves because it was cool. She didn't have to stand in the heat and in the sun, even though I do it under our carport anyways. It was just nice and cool, and she could just stand there and not have to feel like I was, you know, pressuring her in the heat. Okay, so let me get some of these stamps put away here before I wind up losing them. Okay, so there's all of our little pieces that we need. Then we're going to take this along with it looks like a person going, yeah. That's what I think it looks like anyways. And we're going to take that and we're going to cut that out. And then that comes out with this little piece here. Okay. All right, so there's all of our scraps done and all of our die cutting being done. And then we're going to take this little piece here, and we still need to grab this piece here where it looks like it's a plant, kind of like a hanging plant, which you could put that in a pot like that, and it actually has a die cut that cuts it out as well, and then it could be flowing out of the plant. And then if you were to do this little macrame piece and have that flowing out of there, very cool. I'm not using the macrame piece today, but as you can see, I am going to be using the other pieces. But we won't just use this once. I'll use this a couple of times since it's in the annual catalog. So I'm just setting this down as placement to see where I need to stamp. So I'm going to come in with my soft succulent now. I'm going to stamp that up, and then I'm going to stick that right there. Because then I know this piece is going to sit there. I'm going to close that one up. And then on this piece, I'm going to take this one and come in with my garden green. I always have to look at my card that I've already made to make sure that I'm using the right pieces. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing, but I'm going to do it in this garden green this time. Okay. I love that little piece, that little greenery. I think that is so pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to dimensional this up. So I'm going to pop it up with my white dimensional since I have white paper. Where are my big, there they are. They fell to the back of the desk. Ugh. All right. So I'm just going to put one in the center there, and then this little piece is going to get popped up as well. So that's where I'm going to come in with my minis and stick that to some of the little leaf parts. To keep this up. All right. Then we can put this on here. Ah, get off of me. And I'm just going to set that at the bottom. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna, instead of sticking it directly down, I'm gonna pop it underneath that pot first, and then lay that down just like that. So then that looks like it's sitting in there growing out of the pot. But then you just see a little bit of this green on the outside. Okay, so that is going to go on the outside of our card here. Then let's get that glued on there actually right now. So nothing else happens, no more disasters. No, it's not a disaster. It's just called learning, right? Okay, so that's gonna go right there. Then I'm going to go ahead, oh no, I'm not, because I need to stamp on that. So God only knows I don't want to stamp on that before I get it adhered, because we only know what today's already looking like. So we can see the forecast. All right, so I'm just gonna set that out of the way. And then I'm going to take this piece and put my little pot on there. And since this is going to go in the inside, I'm not going to put any dimension on this piece because of the fact that when our card shuts, we want the inside flap to lay flush. Then I'm just going to grab this little piece here and just put just a couple dots of glue on there. And put that kind of hanging out that way. Eek. I think it's time to pull another glue out. And then take this one and kind of prop it right underneath there. Just like that. Okay. And then there's that plant. Now that's going to go on the inside, and then this one is going to stick on the inside of our flap. So let's get this out of the way here. Get this adhered to the inside of this. I gotta take a drink, hold on. Okay, now this is going to stick. Now you're not gonna leave that DSP showing on the back side. It is going to sit right against your square piece there, if that makes sense. So there's no, you're not seeing anything from the back side. It's laying completely flush with that. So then that kind of covers your flap, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece, which is our inside, and I'm going to take the words, let me see what's over here. And a little note with the biggest thanks. I like that. So I'm going to take that and put that in the inside. And I'm going to do that in garden green. I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I get this straight-ish. Okay, that turned out actually, whew, that worked. I was starting to sweat there. You never know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm just gonna put a couple of dabs of glue on this. Oh my goodness. Okay, and I'm gonna put that right here in this bottom corner. And then pick this little piece up and stick this inside of there. Just like that. So then that looks like our card is complete and not looking like we're missing anything and have a bunch of white space hanging out. And then this is going to go in the inside of here. Okay, and look at that. So this is the other one that I made where I did the card stock and the card base. I did it in cinnamon cider. And this one, I did it opposite where I did it in, oh, wait a minute. We forgot the most important part, didn't we? Oh my goodness. Woo. I'm sure you guys were like yelling at me going, wait a minute, you forgot the sentiment on the outside. Which I did. I did. So I'm coming in with the Messages dies. Now this has 2 coordinating stamp sets that go with it. I also made this in the peach card too, and that's the one I was actually going to do, but I decided to do a different peach card for you guys tonight. So I just wanted to show you kind of the difference in these, that you can, you know, make these in a million ways, just don't mess up like I did. Okay, wait a minute. Didn't I have my rhinestones sitting out here to go with this? All right, let me move that. I thought I had them sitting over here. Did I drop them? Oh my goodness. Okay, do you guys see them? Are they sitting somewhere? My little rhinestones? I could have swore I got those out. I thought I had them sitting in my... Oh, did you put them here? No. Did I drop them somewhere? What the heck? They're probably sitting right in front of my face, aren't they? I had my little rhinestones. They have a little champagne. I thought I had them in that. I had to because they're not in my... Do you guys see them? Well, I guess I didn't have them in there because here they are right here. Jeez Louise. All right, so like I said, I took my mini messages and I cut these all out on a piece of white cardstock. So what you do is you take this whole piece and say this is your white cardstock. You're gonna lay this down and then you're gonna run this whole thing through your die cutting machine. And then it's gonna leave you a whole bunch. I mean, if you do it with the stamp set, you're gonna wanna stamp your images first and then line up your little stars and your heart to get the words to come out right when you go to do it with the words. I just wanted the plain white pieces here because I like adding those to things. So I just keep a little baggie of my little white message pieces, and these all cut out individually. Even the little hearts and stars, those cut out as well. So now I'm going to take this and, oh, I'm all miscombobbled. I haven't had this much craziness happen in quite some time. But hey, you know what? That's life, and you guys are rolling with me, and it's okay. I'm going to take the words "You Touched My Heart" because I do like that sentiment, and it works perfect on these little pieces because we said a little note with the biggest thanks. You touched my heart. Then I'm going to take that with this color here, which is the Soft Succulent. Guess it helps if I put my wording a little bit straighter, then it might come out a little bit straighter on there. Perfect. Oh, something's working out right. That's okay. All right, then I'm going to put dimensionals on that, but let me show you what I'm going to do to keep this ribbon on there. Is I'm going to take my seal and grab a piece of my ribbon. Now this is the Soft Succulent open weave ribbon. I'm just gonna kind of put that down here and see the length that I want, and then take my ribbon snips, because I have 2 pairs of snips, one for cutting paper and then one that I keep with the lid on at all times, and that's the super sharp pair, and that is for cutting ribbon only, because I need it to stay sharp to be able to cut the ribbon. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to run just a little piece of that along the bottom, just like that. Or you can even take your couple of snot dots and put those down as well. But that way I can now take my dimensionals, I want that moved up just a hair, and see, and nothing is permanent when it comes to or I guess if you put paper down with snail, then it's permanent, but in this case that you can move around a little bit. Now let me take some dimensionals. And now stick this right on the top of that. Just like that. And there you go. And then see, the way that when you go to stamp your image in here, when you do it to the middle, just make sure that you leave kind of a gap when you're stamping that down. I didn't pay attention to it, but I should have, because I've learned my lesson, because I have stamped on the outside of that, and you don't want to see your wording. So be mindful of that when you go to stamp your sentiment in the inside. Kind of place your paper in there and see how far of an edge you have to be able to stamp your sentiment. All right, so there's that. Let me get some of the rhinestones on there. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to put those away, because now I know where they're at. All right, let's move some of this around, and then let's get to our last card. All right, so what do you guys think of that? Do you like that corner fold, or does that just seem like way too much to even be messing with, right? Just messed up your mojo with all the new things. I'm telling you, it's got to be something, because, whew. All right, there's that one. Now I'm going to show you, this one should be good. Let me get some of these out of the way. I think I mounted all my ones for this last card, but let me just do this just so I make sure I keep all those stamps together. Okay. Now this one is that one that we're using the peach set with. Look at this. Isn't that so cool? Now I'm using different colors and stuff today, but I love these border dies. I am in love with the border dies. And I just love the effect of how it pulls out that DSP, but you're still able to put an image on the front. So let's go ahead and make that one. This is more of a simple card, so I won't be taking all night doing this one. Okay, so we need another thick, basic white cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, because like I said, with thick cardstock, you need to make sure you score, because otherwise you'll get all these little wrinkles and, you know, ugly marks on the side of your card. Okay, so that's our card base. Then we need a piece of our designer series paper with it. This is called the You're a Peach designer series paper. Beautiful blues, which is balmy blue in there. The good thing about this set, this is one of our cheapest sets. I don't know why it came out to be as cheap as it is, but that's why everybody's jumping on board with this peach set. One of the cool things is is you're not just limited to peaches. There's lots of other card in here with flowers. Your die set actually cuts the flowers out of your, cuts the flowers out for you as well. So these 3 flowers all stamped down, and then you can cut all 3 flowers out individually. So this does not have to be a peach card. You can actually take these peaches off and just put flowers there, and then you have a floral card and not even peachy altogether. Okay, so that's the set that we're using. I think this set together, let me tell you, because I had that written down as well on my catalog, because I wanted to show you that also. That is on page 61 right here. Look, you can even purchase the jars and make your own like marmalades and everything and decorate the top of your jars and send those as gifts. Look at how cute these are. They put some little candies in it and just wrap paper around the front. What a great little gift. Those are little jelly beans that they put in this jar, wrapped some of our pale papaya ribbon around the front. And what a great gift idea. I also made, let me show you this really quick. I made this little gift set with this peach. This is a Post-it sticky pad in there, and I just wrapped it with paper, and then I took a big notepad and wrapped it with paper and then just decorated the front. Then I took some of that designer series paper and rolled it up and stuck it in one of these pins, and then stuck it in our little acetate box. What a great gift idea. So this set all together with, that means that comes with your stamp set, your dies. It also comes with the designer series paper, and the mini jars, all for $57. That is amazing. If you don't want the jars and you don't want the paper, don't buy it this way right now though, because the paper is on sale. Don't forget that. $36 for the stamp set and the dies. Amazing. I don't know how they kept that price so low on that one, but it is what it is, and that's why I think that's probably one of our most popular sets that we have right now. But the paper is on sale, so don't forget that. The paper is $9.78 right now, so that is an amazing deal. So that saves you some money right there. So there's the blue that I used on this one. I'm going to use the actual peach side on this. Now this is the same exact size as your card base. So this is 5.5 by 4.25. That's gonna go, just get stuck right down on your paper, or right down on your card. Then you're gonna need a basic white, which is 5.5 by 3.5. This is what we're going to be doing our die cutting on. Now, where did I put my border dies? I just had them out. Oh my Lord. Because if it was gonna happen, it would happen today, right? Where are my border dies? Well, yeah, my card mojo is really screwed up today. I'm telling you what. It must be the new stand. It must be the new chair. I'm just all frazzled. Let me see. Oh, there they are. Whew! My goodness gracious. Losing my marbles. Okay. So, we are going to take this, and the best way to do this, I find, is to take your grid paper. Now that can be your big grid paper, a small piece of grid paper. Let me grab a small piece out here and show you what I mean. To make sure this gets lined up correctly. Now when you set this down on your grid paper, you can take this and then tape this down with your washi tape. I put it to the very tip there and make sure I have about the same space on both sides. And then if I follow this black line, I know that I've moved 2 boxes in up here. So I'm going to put that down right there. And then I'm going to move 2 boxes in over here close to that line So then I make sure then it's going to be aligned correctly when I go to die cut this. Now this one I did not die cut ahead of time because I wanted to show you that to make sure you got your border on there correctly. So let me cut that. Oh, don't make excuses for me, Mom. It just is the way it is. Some days you have good days of stamping, other days you don't. It's just life, and you just roll with it. Because, trust me, it can't always be perfect. All right, Len, let's get this thing out of the way here. Okay, and then let me put this die away before I wind up losing it. Because that would be today's way, everything's going. And I tried to become so prepared, to make sure everything was in place, but okay, so there's that. Now we're going to take our Pear Pizzazz and stamp our greenery. So that's this leafy part right here. Actually, that part even has a die cut that die cuts those out if you wanted to pop them up. So I'm going to put this kind of at an angle coming down off of that piece there. Then I'm going to use that and stamp. Where are my... So now you need a dauber for this part, and you need a scrap of white. So the way I do my peaches to make them look more realistic is I use Calypso Coral along with Pale Papaya. I use both colors. So let me open up my colors here, and I need my peach stamps. And then I'm going to stamp it in the Pale Papaya first, then take my dauber and daub it in my Calypso Coral, and just on the outsides of this, I'm going to put it around the outside of my stamped area to make it look more like a realistic color of a peach. Just like that. Because, yeah. Because as you can see, peaches are not all one color, right? We know that. We eat peaches. Because if I was to come in here and just do it as a Pale Papaya, that doesn't look like a peach. That doesn't look realistic. So I really like how Pale Papaya and Calypso Coral, just a little dab of Calypso Coral on the outside of that stamp really does wonders for these peaches. Okay, then I'm going to take my die, and these all three will cut out at the same time. So you're going to watch for your one that has more of the point to it to fit on this one with the point. Now when you run that through your die cutting machine, all three peaches are all three peaches are going to come out separate just like that, right? Okay. Then you want to take a small piece of Calypso Coral, and you're going to take these little flowers. See how each one of these have 3 flowers? I take them like this when I'm going to run this through. Oh, Lord, if I can get them off of there. I do that. I do that one. So there's 6 flowers already right there. And then I can do 9 flowers at one time. Plus I can come in with the big flowers and do another 3 big flowers. Run that through my die cutting machine. I have 12 flowers already cut right there for me. Okay, so you see how that's done? Because they give you all these little things. Also, you can do these little leaves too, and they have more than 1 leaves, and then you have a full branch here. Okay, and then I just store all my little flowers right here in a little leftover, this was an embossing folder. So I just store all those little flowers in there, and then when I need them, I can just pull them out and use them. All right, so where did I put my piece? Right here. Now these are going to, as you can see, there's little open spaces here. These are going to get put right on there. Now let me grab my dimensionals. And then make sure you fill it in and just put it where it looks like it's meeting with the stem and then fitting into that open space that was there. Now the pointed one, I like to put it over here. You can put it wherever. But again, I'm going to put it where it's kind of going to fit, where it looks like it's meeting up with that stem. And then this one is just going to go right here, meeting with that stem. Very cool, right? And I've got adhesive on there. Hold on. There we go. All right. Then let me grab my words. I am going to put "Have a Peachy Day" on there, and I'm going to do that in balmy blue, because that's the colors that we have on our paper. And then I'm going to use this is the fine art ribbon, and I'm just going to cut a small piece off of here because I'm going to just tie a little bow in this and add this to my card. So I'm going to take it like that, just tie a bow with it. Maybe because you guys know how good I am at making bows, right? Maybe I didn't cut that long enough. Hold on. Let's cut a little longer. There we go. That's gonna work. Okay, so just pull that through. Just make a knot for itself. And then twist it so it looks like it's straight. And then I'm going to put that at the top, but first I'm going to cut this where it looks like it's a little bit better looking than the hot mess I just made out of it. Okay. Get all my little scraps out of the way here. Let's get this put on with a snot dot. So with a snot dot, I just, for something small like this to attach that ribbon, is I'm just going to roll it on top of itself, just like that, and then adhere that to the back of that snot dot, or to that ribbon, and then place that right on the top of that stem, just like that. Because then it's the same height as your peaches because we've put those up on dimensionals. Let's get this paper, this DSP, attached to our card base. So like I said, this is the same size as our card. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bump it to the very edge over here and glue that down. Now, to save yourself some paper, if you don't want to use a full sheet behind here, you absolutely don't have to. You could cut it at probably, what would that be? Maybe 2 inches, and be able to run that down here so you don't have to cover it, because you are kind of wasting paper to do it the full length, because really all you needed to do is go under this so you don't see, you know, it up here, the white part. Okay, there's that. Then what I wanted to do were take a couple of these little flowers. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you want to make a purchase, I would love your business. Please go to my store, dannygarola.stampinup.net, or you can go to my blog, and there's links all over my blog that tells you to shop now. If you go into my shop, like I said, the first thing you're going to see pop up is our paper sale. Also, use my host code right here. This is my host code for July. That is if you're making a purchase under $150. Type this in right above your purchase before you hit that checkout button. And this helps me to be able to bring you guys these free videos and to be able to do the giveaways every week. So also, if you need new catalogs and you don't have a demonstrator, please let me know. Message me here through Facebook, or you can what if I could find out what, if I can remember what my own darn email is fuzzypink56@yahoo.com. Just go ahead and message me and I can get catalogs sent out to you. So I'm going to just put a couple of dabs of glue on here to get these little flowers added. I love it when I lose my train of thought. I'm trying to think of getting this card done. I get too many things going on in my mind and blah, blah, blah. That's what it becomes. A bunch of blah, blah, blah. But if you are making a purchase over $150, do not use my host code. That's when you're going to be able to get some of those hostess gifts, just like that party paper or pattern party paper, DSP, that I was telling you about in the beginning. Yeah, that's a good time to get that paper. Okay. Let's put the lid on that because my luck, I'll knock that thing over and we will have them everywhere. Then I'm going to take some of these little gilded gems and I'm going to come in with the small ones. I don't know if they're going to be small enough, but I liked it with this paper here, or paper with this ribbon. And let's see if that's going to engulf that whole flower. Actually, that looks really good on those. I thought it might be too big, but it's not. It actually looks fairly decent on those flowers. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then I took a strip of that DSP, which is 3/4 by 4 1/4, because that's the same width of our card, and I can't get those back in that package, so I'm gonna not even try. I didn't cut mine down to 4 1/4, but this is gonna go along here and I'll just cut it. But if you want to know the same exact measurements, it's 4 1/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down to the inside of my card to make the inside of my card match the outside of my card, and make sure my peaches are facing down so my paper's not all wonky. Put these scissors away because I definitely don't want to cut paper with those. And then I just cut off the excess. And then, what was the saying we put on the outside? We put, have a peachy day. So then I could come in and I can say, oops, let's move that off of there. I could say, or sweet as a peach, or, because you could put you're as sweet as a peach. Happy birthday, thank you so much. Let's celebrate you. What did I say it says on the front? Have a peachy day. To a sweet friend, thank you so much. Didn't we already make a thank you so much? So I'm going to bring in you're as sweet as a peach. So let me take the you're as, if I can find it. And then the as sweet as a peach. Okay. Get off my fingers. Come on. Oh my goodness gracious. So I'm gonna do sweet as a peach first, and then align that maybe above that. Okay, so since your inside is already the white paper that you're going to be stamping on, this doesn't give you a second chance. This is just, it is what it is. So sweet as a peach. Oh, and that worked. Phew. It's when you hold your breath and you're like, oh, come on, make sure you work. Make sure you're straight. Oh. Okay, then I'm gonna take and I love these photopolymer stamps because I can see exactly where I'm adding my, ooh, you know what? I'm gonna do that in a different color though. I'm gonna do that in the Calypso Coral, just to bring that together. Okay, sweet as a peach. Oh, I love that. Okay, then one more thing to this card and then we will be done and I will let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your week. Like I said, I will be on tomorrow, probably around noon, and I hope everything goes well tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow to do that tower card for you guys. I want to show you how simple and easy that one is, like that other one was, where they look so complex, but then when you make them, you're like, oh my gosh, I could knock out 10 of these in a day, you know? Okay, I'm just gonna do this peach again. I'm grabbing that great big peach because I really want to add this right there. And then let me grab one more thing. I'm gonna grab this little green stem here, and then let me grab that Pear Pizzazz. Now, I'm not going to use this stem piece. I only want the leaves. So I'm just going to dab this, if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to dab this where only my leaves are in my ink and not that bottom stem piece, because I want this coming out of the top of my peach. Just like that. See that? Because otherwise you have this long piece here where you would stand it like that. Well, then my leaves would fall off my paper. So we don't want it like that. I want it just like that. Now, doesn't that look like a real peach with adding those two colors? All right, you guys, thank you so much for spending your evening with me. Have a great week. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow around noon, so I can make this card right here for you. Now, I won't do all the decorations and all that kind of stuff. I will just be making the tower card for you to show you how simple it is, because I want you guys to take pictures of yours once you make it and show me the creativity that you guys come up with, because oh my gosh, it could be just so complex if you really wanted it to be. I kind of just made mine simple. I'm not quite done with it. A couple things to add to it, but isn't that just so cool? So I hope you guys join me tomorrow and watch for me to be live around noon. All right, you guys, have a great week. Thank you guys. Bye.